Okay, so what I was just saying is that I had an intuition that this evening it would be nice to work on the vagus nerve. And I just remembered that was a really important nerve. And the interesting thing about the vagus nerve is, as some of you might know, and Kathy, you work in the medical field, it has to do with the parasympathetic nervous system. And restorative yoga, another form of yoga that I teach, is known for strengthening the parasympathetic nervous system. And so it's interesting because I found an article with 8 things to do to strengthen the vagus nerve. And some of them don't seem very relaxing or parasympathetic. One is exercise. However, it suggests doing exercise you enjoy, that is not a chore for you. It suggests singing and singing beautifully and happily, because the vagus nerve starts in your brain, runs through your throat, ends up in the stomach and the intestine. And so it has to do with regulating heartbeat, regulating our moods. It's really, really interesting, regulating our breath rate and regulating our digestion. These are all things that are essentially involuntary. However, we know that if we do things like breathe, which I think was the first one of the 8 things, a certain type of breath, that will relax us. So tonight's set is active, but not terribly active. And you'll now think about that connection from the head down to the stomach and intestinal area, your digestion, as we do this. So we'll do our normal warm-ups and everything. That is our focus now. And the other thing I just wanted to say is they said that all these things are involuntary, and yet advanced yogis can stop their heart, and they can, change. Even us tonight, we can change a little bit our respiration rate, a little bit, but they are saying that a lot of these things, which are true in the course of the day, we do not think about our breath, right? So that's my intro, and I want to give us plenty of time to practice. So I guess what I'm saying is that this practice is going to be one that is to bring us into a state of being calmer in life. And so I think that's always good, because sometimes Kundalini, like last week, was really, really active, right? So tonight is going to be active, but with the intention of getting us more relaxed. I saw a film with Marlena Dietrich the other day. She was 56 years old, and my friend said the reason she looks so young is she pulled her hair up and she wore a wig. And I said, well, I pull my hair up and that doesn't do anything. And that's the other thing they said, laugh for your vagus nerve. So let's tune in. Bring your palms together, bring your thumbs to the center of your chest, lift your spine, relax your shoulders. And this is a blessedly internally focused yoga. So opening your eyes if you need to see what we're doing, but otherwise giving yourself this time for yourself, which I believe any form of yoga hopefully is, that you're really giving yourself time for yourself. So Om Namo Guru Dev Namo 3 times, chanting it each time on one breath, or inhaling through the nose, chanting Om Namo, and then sipping in through the mouth and chanting Guru Dev Namo. So let's tune into the teacher within to help us do our best. Inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Again, inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And last time. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And then inhale deeply through your nose. And just hold the breath in for a moment. So number one on how to work on our vagus nerve, conscious breathing. And then exhale, release your hands down and rest your wrists on your knees, palms up, index fingers meeting thumbs. I don't listen to podcasts too much, but Nancy, you would love this podcast. Maybe all of you would. It's a poet who just won some major prize, and I forget her name. However, it was an amazing interview that someone in the writing world sent me. And she said that she loves yoga, and she invited one of her friends to yoga. And her friend said, why would I want to go somewhere where someone's telling me how to breathe? And so that is true. When we're in our yoga practice, someone is inviting us to be a little bit more aware of how we breathe. So as you do that, become aware of how you breathe. Allow yourself to breathe in and out through your nostrils. Allow your breath to slow down and deepen. Allow yourself to feel the expansion within as you inhale, and the contraction within as you exhale. So on a very minute level, that even moves the spine. Think about that. Inhale, moving the spine forward a little bit, which we'll be doing shortly in our spine flex. Exhale, it slightly moves back. So all yoga can help us become more aware. However, Kundalini yoga is sometimes called the yoga of awareness. So let's be as aware as we can in our moments here together. And now we're going to hold on to our knees and do our warm-up. So holding on to your knees, start to draw the circle around from your waist, remembering the basics here. Breathing through the nose. Inhale, thinking Sat, S-A-T. Exhale, thinking Nam, N-A-M, which means truth is my identity, or I am the embodiment of my own inner truth. Let your closed eyes focus up between your eyebrows to your inner eye. And now go the other way. Come back to center. Inhale. As we exhale, drop the chin. And tonight, let's just think about that nerve, the largest cranial nerve that is running through the throat that we're working with tonight as we roll our head. Stretching neck and throat. Relaxing face. And the vagus nerve actually runs through the face. I thought that was interesting. So it starts in the brain, runs through the face. And I think we can always feel in our body when we're nervous, right? I definitely feel it in my face when I'm nervous. So that might be that vagus nerve and some other ones. And now go the other way. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. This helps us stay here in the moment, which is not so easy to do. And then bring your head on top of your spine. Inhale and exhale. Slide your hands down to your ankles or shins so we can ride the camel. Do that spine flex, our classic Kundalini warm up, really great for the spine. Same movement as cat-cow, except we're not on hands and knees. So inhale, flex forward. Exhale, flex back. Move at your own pace. You just want to feel what feels good for you. If you're tired, I know one person here said they were tired and almost didn't come. I'm so glad you're here. Then you might want to move a little slower. Be slow with yourself, right? If you're feeling like you want to get a little more energy going, move a little more quickly. Very interesting. I've been talking about that Quincy Jones book, and I don't like being tired. And he talked about how he makes some of the musicians he's worked with over the years work late at night because they're more creative then. So I thought that was super interesting. I guess they're just like their guard isn't up, right? Now inhale, come back to center. And just hold the breath for a few moments, everyone. One of our best ways to be aware of the breath is to stop it as we hold it either in or out, or I like the word suspension better. And then exhale through the nose. Inhale, relax that breath. In other words, just go back to your breathing and bring your fingertips up onto your shoulders, thumbs and back, good. And begin to inhale, twist left, exhale, twist right. Let your head move with your body. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. Twist that spine. Twists are always good for the internal organs. Open your lungs, space for your heart. Good. Let's come back to center. Deep inhale. And as we hold the breath, press the shoulders and elbows back. Create more space in your heart where we have the thymus gland, which is important to immunity. By the way, the vagus is also important for the immune system, it said. And then exhale, release the arms down. Let's just sit in what we call easy pose for a moment with our index fingers to our thumbs and breathe with awareness. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. Eyes focused up to the third eye, right between your eyebrows. How does that feel? I like that feeling. Feels calming. Okay. Before we do our sun salutes today, I would like to do a little cat-cow. So we get our spine a little more warmed up because our set does have shoulder stand and plow in it later on. So let's get our spine a little more warmed up. Coming on to all fours, spreading your fingers wide, knees underneath your hips. Your toes can be curled or flat, your choice. Sometimes we change it, but in Kundalini, we tend not to change the toes. So just choose what position you would like. And as you inhale, lift your head up, focusing third eye, thinking Sat, pressing spine down as much as it will go. As you exhale, bring that spine and belly up, back and forth, Sat, Nam. At your own pace. Good. Inhale, bring your head up. Focus third eye. Exhale, relax. We will do our child's pose as part of our sun salute, so we won't do it now. Let's come standing, everyone. Saluting the sun, which gives us life. So coming to the front of your mat, if you're on a mat, or if you're simply in a space, giving yourself space to step back into a lunge. Before we do our sun salutes, just bring your palms together. Eyes open or closed. Closed is kind of nice. And set your intention for your practice. This can be an affirmation. This can be a devotion. This can be an intention, however you perceive that. This can be something personal. This can be something universal. All right. Hopefully I gave you enough time. Let's do a couple sun salutes before we go into our set. Inhale, reach your arms up. If you like, you can reach back, but do not pinch the low back. As you exhale, fold over, bend your knees for a moment. I'd like to be in that rag doll. So let's let our day go. Whatever time of day it might be, if I do post this thing, whatever time of day it is, just let whatever's in your back body go. We're doing this in the evening, and that's a good time of day to really start to unwind and let go. So we're working that vagus nerve, and hopefully that will make us feel that way. So then you're going to hold on to your mat or floor and inhale, take your right foot back with that knee up or down, your choice. Exhale, take your left foot back into plank position with an inhale so that your body is straight and strong. And then we're going to drop our knees as we exhale and sit back into child's pose. Now, some people can bring their buttocks all the way back to their heels. Just do what works for your body. Those who have knee issues, you may not be able to do that. It might be hip issues, whatever it is. Just do what your body allows. That's really important. And here we come forward into Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Inhale, come forward. I'm going to do a little modified push-up. Exhale, coming down. Sphinx, I'm on my forearms. Cobra, I have my elbows off the floor. And we have a little bit of a limited space here, so I'll adjust the camera here and there. I'm going to go with Sphinx for my first one. And so you can do whatever you want. We like to hold this a little bit, which is not like a vinyasa yoga. So if you're used to vinyasa yoga, this is just a nice slow sun salute with all important back bend here. Okay, so we're going to go into our down dog now. Inhale. As you exhale, either come down if you had a low position, or just go right on up. Spread your fingers and inhale, bring your tailbone back, bring your belly in, lengthen your spine. I'm going to take a look at you folks. That looks good. Everyone knows this posture. Push forward into the heels of your hands. Spread those fingers wide. We want to aim to get our back really long and our belly really strong, and stretch our shoulders and relax our head. And now inhale, step, walk, or assist your right foot forward, back to the low lunge. Very good. Exhale, stay there, pressing your left heel back or your left knee down. And then inhale, step the left foot to meet the right. And as we exhale, hinge from the hips, fold over, ground into your feet, engage your belly, and inhale, come all the way stretching up. And exhale, take a prayer to your heart or arms by your side. We will do this one more time. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over. This time we will not do the rag doll. We'll just step back our left foot. Inhale, step back your left foot. We're back in that lunge again. Exhale, stay here for a moment. Lift your head, press your shoulders towards your waist. We're coming to plank position. Inhale, the right leg back. Body straight and strong. This is one of the best strengtheners in yoga. It's really upper chaturanga if you never do a full chaturanga, because they're very strong full chaturanga. So now we're going to inhale, and if you do your chaturanga, you can do that now. Otherwise, exhale, drop your knees, get that stretch one more time. Speaking of the vagus nerve, this is a very calming parasympathetic posture. One of my favorites. Very good for anxiety. I just love this posture. Okay, and then we're going to take it forward. This time I'll do Ashtanga Namaskara. Inhale, come forward. That is nose, chin, chest, belly, and then hips to the floor. I'll take my Cobra, which for me, my elbows stay bent. I don't have a really bendy back. So we want to keep our shoulders down. Why? Because you want to have some opening in your chest and throat and neck as much as your body will allow. And then inhale. And as you exhale, come into down dog or go down to the floor if you need to first, and then inhale up into your down dog again. Equal weight, hands and feet. Now in Kundalini Yoga, we call this triangle. That looks great, Kathy. I think it's better the second time around. So that's what we feel sometimes. Things get better the second time around, right? And holding them helps us refine it a little bit and play with it a little bit and pull the tailbone back and the belly strong. Okay, let's take that left foot forward. Inhale, step, walk, or assist your left foot forward. And exhale. We're going to step the right foot forward now. Inhale, take your right foot forward. Exhale, fold over. Ground into your feet, engage your belly, support low back. Inhale, rise up. And again, if you want a little back bend here, folks, lean back because we're not going to be getting any back bend anymore in this one. And then exhale. come down. Okay, so again, I got this one. I know I got it from a newsletter years ago, but I just remembered it and went online and found it, and I took notes because it was like 11 pages long and I didn't want to be going back and forth with the computer. So it's not that difficult. We're going to start on our back with the arms. What I mean is the steps of it are not that difficult. That's going to depend on your body, right? But we're going to come on our back with our arms up in the air and our fingers clasped in what we call Venus lock. You're going to keep your arms in Venus lock. Now, if your belly and lower back are strong enough to support this like this, you're going to inhale both legs up and exhale, bring them down. Inhale, bring them up, and exhale, bring them down. We're going to keep that motion going for a little bit, and it's supposed to be 10 minutes. We don't have that much time. That's a long time. Sometimes in Kundalini, the times are long, but you can always shorten it, and we're going to. So inhale, up, exhale, down. Inhale, legs straight, exhale, down. Inhale, sat, exhale, nam. If this is too much for your lower back, you can do one leg at a time. Or if you're really tired, you might feel like doing one leg at a time. Some days we feel more strong than others. Inhale up, and this is pretty strong doing both legs. If you do a lot of yoga, it'll be okay. Or if you do a lot of working out and exercising, but if you don't, you might need to go to alternate legs. Sometimes people start with both legs for a little bit, and then they change to the alternate. You don't want to strain. You never want to strain, but you do want to challenge yourself. So keep up with this a little longer. Inhale up, exhale down, strengthening that digestive area. You can feel that. Keep going. Karen's here, who's our Nabi Kriya expert. So Karen, this is a real Nabi exercise, right? Really good for the navel. Inhale up, exhale down. And again, if we were doing the whole set, this would, I mean, the whole time, this would be the longest one. So we are going to do it a little bit more, just a little bit more. Just almost there. Promise, promise, keep up. Okay, this is your last one. Inhale, one or both legs up. Keep those arms up there straight. Fingers clasped. Exhale, lower the legs down. Release the arms beside you and just relax for a few moments. We're not going to do too much relaxation because there's a pretty good relaxation at the end. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to bring both legs back up in the air. This is not an up and down motion. And you're just going to bring both arms up in the air. And you're going to do long, slow, deep breath. Just hold. This is a hold posture. That's how they're describing it, a hold posture. So what are we doing? We're stretching a lot of nerves here. You've got nerves in your arms. You've got nerves in your legs, which is not the vagus. That's the life nerve known as something else. And these arm stretches are connecting us back into that chest region. And again, the vagus nerve runs from the head through the throat, through the chest, down into the belly area. So long, deep breath, working our vagus nerve. Inhale, sat, exhale, nam. Breathe into your belly and low back. Don't force it, just allow it. It gets there pretty easily as long as you focus on it, that breath.
Try to keep those legs and arms as straight as you can. That's an interesting thing, right? They are not just willy-nilly, they're really working. Pressing the back of the knees back, making your elbows as straight as you can, working the muscles, stretching the nerves. And now take a nice inhale and exhale, release your arms, release your legs. Take rest for a moment, see how you feel. Eyes closed, which we often do when we're laying on our back to rest anyway. However, it's what we do throughout the practice here in Kundalini, which makes it a real interesting energy container work, right? So always feeling how you feel afterwards. Okay, so we've got a couple more leg lifty ones, folks. So the next one, you're going to have your arms behind you on the floor and stretch those arms as best you can. My poorer shoulder is towards you, and so it doesn't lay on the floor, and you just get what your body gets, right? So you do what your body does. And now you're going to inhale, bring your legs up to 90. And exhale, lower them down. Same deal. If you need to do one leg at a time, that's okay. Use the power of your breath, right? To get that navel area strong, but then you also can sense not just the navel area, but this nerve that runs all the way from the navel, back up to the heart, back through the throat, up into the brain. It's one of our cranial nerves. It's our longest cranial nerve. Sat Nam. I can feel that stretch because I have tight shoulders in the shoulder area, which is of course connected to our chest area. Now we're gonna do the last one right from here, folks. Inhale, bring your legs both up. Open your legs wide, stretch the inner thigh. Legs are straight, arms stay where they are. Exhale, lower the legs down, keeping them wide. Then bring your legs together. Legs are straight. Inhale, bring your legs up, thinking Sat. Open up the legs wide, stretching. Keep them wide. Exhale, lower them back down. Okay, continue that. Don't go too fast so you can get it right. And the hips are a little tricky, so you don't want to, just play with it carefully. So inhale, up, Sat, open up. Exhale, legs down, bring them back together. This one is not for very long. Actually, in the set, I think it says about a minute. So this one's not that long. However, it is interesting. So let's finish our last one. Bring those arms from behind you, beside you now. Take a short moment in our relaxation posture, corpse pose Shavasana, and just sense yourself. So the sympathetic nervous system would be the one that makes us feel frazzled frequently. Frazzled frequently. Just made that up. Good alliteration. Frazzled frequently. And the parasympathetic is the one that all of us really can benefit from strengthening. And that is what we're doing here. So as we go through our stressors, which everyone has in their lives, practices for the parasympathetic nervous system, really useful. Breathing practices, restorative yoga is known for that. That's the kind of the parasympathetic one. Okay, so now we have warmed ourselves up. Part of the reason we did our sun salutes, which we usually do, and added the cat-cow before, is so that we could do our shoulder stand. I think most people here can do it. If you cannot do the shoulder stand, that's okay. One thing that's really important to remember in yoga is none of us can do everything. It's like life.
Digital, I keep trying, not my forte, but I can teach a bunch of forms of yoga. So we all do what we can do. And it's the same thing with yoga with your body. Really important to honor that. So if you do not have a full shoulder stand, you will come on your back and do the equivalent of Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. That's fine. For those who have shoulder stand, you want to keep the back of your head bolted to the floor. Literally, you do the best you can to get right up on your shoulders, which I play with a little bit. And actually in Iyengar yoga where they use blankets, I get more vertical. It actually helps me get more vertical. But anyway, you want to push your spine in, folks, as much as you can. Straighten your legs and close your eyes to the third eye in your shoulder stand and just breathe. We're going to add a little thing. So you want to make sure that you are stable. You also may do this if you are laying on your back. We're going to inhale the legs straight and exhale, bend the knees to kick the buttocks. Those of you who've done Kundalini for a long time will remember this is in some of our sets. Move at your own pace. So inhale up, exhale, kick. If you don't actually make contact with the buttocks, but you can do the motion, do it. Eyes closed to the third eye, Satnam. Working a lot of nerves tonight because we've got nerves in our buttocks too. They have to do with our digestion as well. So probably some sort of interaction with the vagus. Now inhale the legs up, exhale, release slowly down for a moment. Take your time. Feel how that stretched your body against gravity. So if you push in on your back there, it really stretches the back, which I don't think we all think about necessarily. We just think of being upside down there. So just relax for a brief moment in this one. All right. Now let me just give you a little preview. We're going to go back up into shoulder stand and start out with a little bit of a silence. And then we're going to add sa, ta, na, ma. Now remember, when you make sound, it works the vagus. So that's very interesting that we're doing this in a position that definitely stimulates the throat area, and we're going to add sound. So let's go back up. And again, if you're not going to go back up, you can be on your back, right? If you don't have the full shoulder stand. Okay, here we go, folks. You're going to go up. If you don't have the full shoulder stand, you're going to go to alternating leg lifts. For those of us that are in shoulder stand, first silently for a few times. You're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale, bring one leg down. Maybe the foot touches the floor, not important. And then inhale, bring that leg up. Exhale, bring the other one down. Go at your own pace, Satnam, silent. Inhale, the leg goes up. Exhale, it comes down. Try to be nice and specific and not sloppy. All right, let's add the mantra. Now we might be going at different paces. You're basically going to hear me because you're muted, but I'm going to start now at a moderate pace. Satanama, which means life, death, infinity, and rebirth. Sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na,
ma, sa, ta, na, ma. One more round. Sa, ta, na, ma. Back to shoulder stand, those that are in full shoulder stand. And from there, folks, we're going to plow. So inhale, bring one or both legs down to plow. Have your legs straight, which means your feet may or may not touch the floor. Frankly, I don't remember where the arms were in the set. I believe they were at the feet, but I think the main thing is that we're in plow, okay? And that you do long, deep breath to begin, and then we're going to add some sound. So if you want to clasp your fingers behind you, you can do that. If you want to hold on to your feet, you can do that. That works better for my body these days. That clasping the fingers behind you is a great shoulder stretch. Inhale, sat. Exhale, nam. See how we're all doing. These poses, we are warmed up now. Hopefully they feel really good. And, you know, having the shoulder stand and the plow in this class are somewhat of a gift because they are such good postures. Shoulder stand is considered the queen of all yoga postures. So good for us. Now, the mantra that we are going to be chanting here, and this is actually the last one in the physical set, but we're going to have a relaxation and then a meditation. In Kundalini Yoga, let me just say, you guys are still in plow if you can, and I will join you in a moment. We use the word G-O-D to mean energy that generates, organizes, and destroys or delivers all. So this is entirely your call. What we are invited to chant here is God and me and God are one. And if that is philosophically odd for you and you don't feel like doing it, that's fine. And we are going to do it for those who want to. And I'm coming back into plow to do it with you. You'll hear me do it. And that will be our final plow thing. So it's like this, we're chanting. God and me and God are one. 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 One more. I realize the vibration is what we're going for, so you can just make vibration. One more. God and me and God are one. Okay, if you're still in the plow, inhale. If you had to come out, that's also perfect. You got to listen to your body. Exhale, come out of it. And now, folks, gently lie on your back. Be gentle as you allow your body to receive the support beneath it. And we are going to be in this for a little bit. In the full set, they suggest that you stay here for 15 minutes. However, I want time to do a nice little breathing meditation before we finish. So we are not going to go that long, but we are going to go for a little bit. And I like what they said. They said consciously
go through all parts of your body and turn off the tension. Isn't that an interesting instruction? Go through the entire part of your body, all the parts of your body, entire body. And I like that, turn off the tension. And so relax on your back. Now in Yoga Nidra, they do a body scan and they do much more than that. So we don't have time to do a full Nidra with a Sankalpa and meditation and all that stuff, but you could do a body scan here. So I will guide you through that. And all you have to do is just listen. And when I mention a part of your body, again, just turn the tension off. That's a new one. I like that. Turn the tension off. So start with your right foot and toes and bones and soles of the feet and tops of your foot. And then the right ankle. And then the right lower leg. And then the right knee. And then the right upper leg. Relaxing the skin, the muscles, the bones, the nerves, the tendons, the ligaments, the blood, all of it. And then let's do the same thing with the left foot. The toes, top of the foot, sole of the foot, all the bones, something like 26 bones in our foot. The left ankle, the left lower leg, the left knee, the left upper leg. And now let both legs just relax. And as you let them relax simultaneously, feel their connection into the body at the hip socket. Let that soften on both sides. And then travel to your right buttock. Actually, largest muscle in the body. So let that tension turn off. And the left buttock. And the right lower back. And the left lower back. And then moving up to the right shoulder blade and upper back. And left shoulder blade and upper back. And then sense your spine as you lay on your support. Feel your spine relaxing. It has its own natural curves. We often talk about making ourselves taller and lengthening the spine, and we do want to do that, but not right now. We want to just sense those natural curves like a river flowing. One in the low back, one in the up back, one in the neck. And then sense the back of your head and your neck. And now we're heading to the area of the brain where that vagus nerve originates. Can we relax our brain? That's a physical thing, the brain, right? Different than the mind. That's another thing. They're somehow we think of them very similarly. And then relax the face. Think of that. The vagus runs from the brain into the face. And then to your throat. And then to your entire chest. And then down into the belly and hip groin area. And so now you have relaxed the back body, the front body, and we move to the right hand and the right wrist and the right lower arm, and the right elbow, and the right upper arm and shoulder. And we relax that entire arm right into the socket, right where it meets the body. And then finally, we move over to the left hand and fingers, and the left wrist and forearm, and the left elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. And I will share with you as you lay on your back before we get up to meditate. The list of 8 things. One, I actually don't know what it is. I think it might be a psychological therapy term or something. The first one is to breathe deep. The second is to sing it out. The third is massage. The fourth is cold water immersions, which is really interesting because we're recommended to be take cold showers in Kundalini Yoga for our electromagnetic field or energy field, the aura. Have to say I'm not so good at that, but cold water immersion. Exercise, as I said earlier, not laborious exercise, not an exercise that is a chore, but exercise that you enjoy because that will affect your parasympathetic nervous system in a positive way. ASMR, which I don't know what that is, some of you might, and they defined it as brain tingles. So what I was thinking is maybe in yogic terms, that might be listening to little chimes or Ripley music, things like that. I went to a sound healing about a week ago, and in addition to the gong, he had a thing that sounds like waves in the ocean and winds in the trees. So maybe that's what that means. Connect with others, which we are doing right now, and why yoga is so wonderful, because we do feel our connection to others and everything. And then number 8 is to laugh. Important to laugh. All right, so we need to get ready to come up and do our little meditation. So let's reach our arms up overhead behind us with a deep inhale. Hold the breath and stretch your body, and think of that nerve in particular that we worked in this practice. And then exhale, relax everything for a moment as we get ready to twist. So inhale, draw one knee into the chest, starting on whatever side you like. We often start on the right, but whatever you like. And then exhale, take that leg across the body as far or as little as feels good to you. And then inhale, bring that leg back, and exhale, release it out. Switching legs, inhale, draw the right knee in. Exhale, take it over, across. Inhale, bring the knee in, bring both knees in, and then bring the soles of the palms together and rub them. Rotate your wrists and ankles, and go the other way. Rock and roll on your spine if that's comfortable where you are. Great massage for our back and vertebra, distributing that energy along the spine. And that's what we want to do. We want to distribute that wonderful energy along the spine. And now come up. Come sitting cross-legged. Here comes the quiet part, and that's where Bo starts to bark, of course. So I could have printed this out, but I just have it on my email. This is actually a meditation that was sent out for the new moon in Pisces yesterday, and it's to deliver contentment. And I think that when we work on the parasympathetic nervous system, it allows us to feel more contentment. So I thought it went really well with that. So folks, I'm going to set you up, have you doing the breath and everything, so I can read to you what it's about and not take up time to do that. You can just meditate on what I say as you do this. So have your elbows into the waist and have your index fingers, your Jupiter fingers up. These are the ones we use in Kundalini Yoga for expansion, so we can continue to grow forward in our life and expand in our life experiences and not allow anything that's challenging make us shrink, right? Let's think of it that way. So your eyes are closed. It doesn't say whether it's third eye, tip of the nose, or chin, you choose, or none of those. Third eye's intuition, tip of the nose is focus, emotional balance is the chin, and just says eyes closed. You're going to make an O of your mouth and just breathe in and out. I'll start with you, and then I'm just going to share a little with you so you get the benefit. It is what we call like a cannon breath. However, it's a nice slow breath. Sounds like the wind. And very deep, right? So you're rounding your mouth in and out, and your hands are like that with the index fingers up and the other fingers down with the thumb on top of them. And this is what it says about this. For each of us on the path, there are two qualities that must be present if we are to achieve a life of prosperity, a life that is pro-spirit. Prosperity, I like that, pro-spirit. The first quality, keep breathing, folks, is containment, which creates an opportunity to deliver oneself to the second quality, a state of contentment. This meditation can deliver both aspects, containment and contentment. So keep going. It creates a direct connection to the radiant body and gives us control of the mind. Control of our mind gives us the opportunity to allow contentment as a choice, a state of being to be assimilated into our daily awareness as a dominant feature of our psyche. I think that's extremely true that we choose this, right? So we are meditating on our mind to achieve a state where your mind remains balanced despite what anybody says. If you count your values, you give your virtues a chance. And if you give your virtues a chance, you count your value. Okay, so I'm going to do it with you a little bit before we end. It's so amazing to feel the breath inside you moving. I mean, it really sounds to me like the tides of an ocean or the wind in the trees. It's very powerful to hear that breath. And now, everyone, we're going to take a deep inhale through those cannon mouths. Hold the breath. You can close your mouth and tighten your body. This is one of the ways we release tension, by hold the breath, tighten. Good. And now exhale, just relax for a moment. Rest your wrists on your knees or have your hands at your heart, or however you feel like relaxing. As I go find us the Long Time Sun song, just relax for a moment. When we get to long time sun song, we'll actually have our hands in the prayer position, but we don't need to do that quite yet unless you feel moved to do that. And that's fine if you do. Now bring your palms together. If you know this little song, please sing it with us together or listen.
May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Satnam.
Thank you. And now just take a nice deep inhale and visualize yourself as healthy, happy, whole, and fulfilled. And exhale that breath. Keep your hands in prayer. And lastly, please visualize love to all, light to all, life to all, peace to all, and blessings to all. Thank you.